The streetlights were reluctant that night, a guttering, apologetic glow that made every shadow look as if it hesitated to step forward. I noticed it, like an audience notices when a performer lingers between scenes. The room tenses, the air tightens, even breath becomes an accomplice. My work, calling it a trade, feels absurdly plain. I stage small ceremonies of fear, coaxing people toward the edge of the known, had trained me to read those silences. That evening, the silences read me back. At first, the signs were petty betrayals of normalcy. A cat in the alley watched me for longer than a cat should. A neighbor's music looped a single bar until dusk grew a groove. Phone screens showed minutes ahead of themselves. The barista asked if I ever heard the hum behind the city's hum and smiled as if I had answered yes. I began to collect these fragments, like a director hoarding props, each an implication of something else tuning itself to our frequency. The professional itch became a compulsion to make suggestion spectacle. I arranged coincidences. A friend found a note addressed to the wrong name. A clock stopped at an impossible time. A child drew a circle packed with eyes. They felt too tidy, like a conjurer's routine. The longer I pushed, the stranger the faces in my audience became. Less curious, more expectant. Nights lengthened. Doors acquired a taste for staying ajar. Sleep thinned and filled with a subway train running between places that did not exist. Paranoia is a teacher that charges debts as well as lessons. I heard things in the gaps of sounds, a tally of knocks that counted not seconds but degrees of attention. My reflection lagged. Names slipped out of conversation into corridor whispers. To manufacture dread is one thing, to be its subject is another, a feeling like being read from the inside. I found myself apologizing to shadows for failing to be frightening enough. Then came the geometry, light bent when it should have fallen straight. Maps argued about where we stood. On the pier, where salt air had always smelled like weather, the horizon unraveled into an ordered ruin of angles that did not obey Euclid. Something vast had learned to shift its edges to our measure, like a predator testing where a net sags. When it revealed itself, it declined in shape but not in intent. Suggestion made anatomical, a voice that began in floorboard grain and finished hollowing out the word home. It arrived not with teeth or claws, but with the crystal impatience of an intelligence accustomed to waiting. It read us as I used to read audiences, probing, delighted, implacably indifferent to our categories. My old confidence dissolved as if the stage we'd built were a skin it could pass through. I tried to write it down, make confession into a map, but ink balked. Colleagues called. One laughed too loudly and then fell silent as if interrupted by someone else in the room. Outside, the reluctant lamps surrendered to a steady, wrong light. I closed the notebook. Whatever listened when I whispered its name waited, for now the curtains are drawn.